Six Flags Great America is one of my favorite parks and is well known for their extremely balanced collection of roller coasters. With 15 in total, this park offers some of the best rides in the country. I had the opportunity to go back to Great America this summer with my sister and cousins and got to ride a few more rides than last year. In this video, I will be ranking the top 10 roller coasters that I've been on at this park. While I haven't ridden every single roller coaster, I do believe that I've been on the 10 best. Keep in mind that all of these rankings are in my opinion, and you are completely entitled to think entirely differently than me. Starting off the list in the number 10 spot is one of the rides that we didn't get last year, American Eagle. A lot of people would completely disagree with this placement because some people love this ride and some people hate it. Personally, I thought the ride was pretty fun, but it was a little rough, especially compared to the other two big wooden roller coasters at the park. Apart from the typical old wooden roller coaster roughness, there were a few good moments, but some of the ride was just pretty boring. The number 9 spot goes to a very similar scenario with Demon. I actually enjoyed the rides I got last year, and didn't really get any headbanging, and I didn't think it was as rough as other people found it to be. The only reason it's ranked so low is that the other rides on this list are really good. Demon has a good first drop, and the inversions are mildly intense with some good hang time. Unfortunately, this ride was closed this year, so my ranking is based on the rides I got last year. Coming in at the number 8 spot is the other coaster we got to ride for the first time, the Flash Vertical Velocity. This is my first intimate impulse coaster, and it's definitely a fun experience that is rare to find anywhere else. The spikes are a lot of fun, and the launches are pretty intense. The only thing that I dislike is that it feels short for the amount of time you wait. Right next to Flash is the number 7 spot, Batman the Ride. This was the original B&M invert, and I think I slightly prefer it over the one at Magic Mountain. It's really smooth, intense, and it's taller and faster than it looks compared to the other rides at the park. Like all the Batman clones, it provides really strong positive Gs on all the inversions and turns, and if you don't ride in the front, it's a really disorienting ride experience. There's nothing wrong with this ride, but I just think the other rides above it are more fun. Here's where the rankings get really close in quality, especially for these next two. My number 6 coaster at Great America is going to be Viper. I really enjoy Viper, and I think it's a really underrated ride. It's smooth for a wooden coaster, it has some good airtime and forces, and it's a long ride. Plus, for some reason, it never seems to have a line, especially both times that I went to the park. It's an example of what a good wooden roller coaster should be, which is why it's in the middle of this park's ranking as well as my overall ranking. Starting off the top half of the list and ranking just above Viper is Superman Ultimate Flight. This ranking was really close, but what I like about Superman is that it has one of my favorite coaster elements, the pretzel loop. This element is so much fun, and it feels way more out of control than any other coaster element I've been on. Without that pretzel loop, Superman is still a fun ride, and the flying aspect of it makes it a crowd pleaser, but I don't think it would rank above Viper. B&M flyers are always fun, and this is the perfect example of what a typical B&M flyer is going to be like. Coming in at the number 4 spot is the first ride of the Big 4, and that's going to be X-Flight. X-Flight is a ride that some people don't like anymore because of the rattle and the restraints. The restraints only bother me on the brake run, right before you get off the ride anyways, and I've never felt a rattle on any of the 5 or 6 times I rode this. X-Flight has a really solid collection of elements, and the near miss through the tower is the best near miss I've ever witnessed. The wing over drop is a lot of fun, and I like it better than Gatekeepers because you get more hang time. Both sides of the train are fun, and I don't think either of them are better than the other. The top 3 at Six Flags Great America are really no surprise to anyone. All 3 of these rides are in my top 10, and they are really what puts this park on the map. They are all pretty close in quality, especially number 2 and 3. Number 3 is going to be Max Force. Max Force is my favorite launch on any roller coaster, and it's really easy to see why. The launch accelerates from 0 to 78 miles per hour in 1.8 seconds, the fastest in North America. On top of the launch, Max Force has some fun inversions that give awesome and unique hang time, and the world's fastest inversion at 60 miles per hour. As the newest coaster in this park, It is also perfectly smooth. It's a short ride, but it makes up for that by the intensity of the launch, and this ride keeps up the pacing with not a dull moment. The number 2 spot goes to the B&M Hyper Raging Bull. Raging Bull is a great ride full of airtime and positive G's. The first drop in the back row is one of the best on any roller coaster, launching you out of your seat as you plunge into the tunnel. Raging Bull is everything I wish Goliath at Magic Mountain was, because it keeps up the pace with turns and airtime hills. The second hill provides some good airtime, and the drop and hill after the mid-course brake run always surprise me. The helices at the end provide some good positive G's, as well as the valleys after the drop and the hills. Raging Bull is also my favorite steel hypercoaster over Mamba, Goliath, and Magnum. Raging Bull is fantastic, but not quite as good as the number 1 coaster. Taking the gold medal at number 1 is the fastest and steepest wood coaster in the world, Goliath. Besides the length, I would say Goliath is near perfect. It has one of the best first drops in the world, and if you're in the backseat, you get absolutely launched. The overbanked turnarounds are a lot of fun, and you get some forces and even some near misses with the supports. The airtime hill delivers some powerful forces, and the RMC lap bars make it even better. On top of that, the dive loop and 0G stall have some of my favorite hang time, rounding out an awesome experience. One of the best parts about Goliath is the single rider line, which we use to get 4 or 5 rides within an hour, where waiting in the regular line would only get us 1 or 2. Goliath is also really smooth, and you can barely tell that it's a wooden coaster by the way it rides. Goliath really is the best ride in this park, and every time I visit I look forward to it the most. That's going to do it for my ranking of the top 10 roller coasters at Six Flags Great America. Feel free to share your opinions in the comments, and if you enjoyed, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're new. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. KingT out.